Hi, and welcome to Success Today with Jack Canfield. I'm your host, Jack Canfield, and I have a wonderful guest today, Lance Drury, who's an attorney who has a firm that's helping people deal with money that they owe to Uncle Sam and how to deal with that in a successful way. We're going to learn more about that. It may be you or someone you know. So welcome to the show, first of all.
Well, thank you, Jack. It's great to be here.
Yeah. So tell us, let's start with some background. What is it you do and how did you kind of get there?
What I do is represent people that owe taxes to Uncle Sam. I have 16 people in my employ. We're in St. Genevieve, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, Nashville, Tennessee, San Antonio. Soon we're going to be in Houston, Texas. And so that's what we do. We help people. I'm the liberation architect, Jack. Most tax attorneys talk numbers. I talk financial freedom. I keep people out of the clutches of the Internal Revenue Service. In fact, Jack, several years ago, I was on a Sunday morning program out of St. Louis, and I told the moderator, I said, I'm the guy who saves Fay Ray from the clutches of King Kong. So that's what we do. We stop the garnishments, we stop the levies, we get people set up on a plan, and then we make sure that they're compliant in the future because guess what? If you don't stay 100% compliant moving forward, your agreement with the IRS is going down the drain.
So let's go back. So was there a special moment in time when you decided to focus your legal practice on this particular issue?
Yeah, let me tell you what happened. I'm in my office late at night. It's like 10 o'clock at night. And you know, most small town lawyers don't make a whole lot of money. It's not very lucrative, and you work a lot of hours. And I came across this program from a guy in Colorado who was offering some books on tax resolution. So I bought the books. Next thing I know, he's doing a seminar in Tampa, Florida. So I went to the seminar in Tampa, Florida, and then he started a group. And this was out in Colorado. It was like tax agents. And so I started in with him, but I didn't have the St. Louis area. And finally, after teaching me a lot of the marketing principles, I knew that I could do this on my own. So I got rid of him because, you know, you had to pay for these areas. And I told the office, and this was the defining moment. I said, in less than 30 days, we're going into St. Louis. So I went on the radio there, and I still do a lot of radio. I know that's old school, but you know, you get a lot of a return on investment from radio. Mm-hmm. And so we went into St. Louis about 13, 14 years ago, and it just mushroomed. Now we have over 1,000 clients at any one time, and we're going to have 2,000 to 3,000 at one time if I have my ways about this, because we're going to keep growing the business.
How many people do you think out there, maybe what percentage or a number, have these kind of tax problems?
Well, I can tell you, presently 26 million people have tax problems with Uncle Sam. And by the year 2032, they're estimating that there's going to be 35 million delinquent taxpayers. So I think I got job security for several years to come, Jack.
That's like 10% of the population. That's amazing.
It is amazing. But,
yeah.
You know, and 70% or more of my clients are self-employed. Those are the people that get in trouble because the taxes aren't automatically going out. And what happens a lot of the time is, you know, somebody doesn't pay their bill. And so the owner, to keep the business going, he pays his employees, he pays his suppliers. He thinks next quarter that, you know, he's going to catch up on his payroll taxes, and it just kind of mushrooms, and then it turns into a major problem.
Wow. So someone decides to work with you. What's the process they go through? I'm curious.
Well, here's the process. After they sign a retainer agreement and pay the fee, you know, then they have to sign a power of attorney and an engagement letter. And the first thing we do is that power of attorney goes into the IRS. It's not our power of attorney. It's the IRS's power of attorney, and it's only limited to their tax issues with the IRS. So we send that in. In the old days, it took 7 to 10 days to process. The IRS is now so far behind and so screwed up, it's taken a minimum of 20 business days for that power of attorney to process. So once that happens, we're not going to call the IRS up because that just puts my clients on their radar. It's a huge mistake to do that unless there's already a deadline in place or you're ready to negotiate a settlement. So what we do is we have special software. It costs me a pretty penny, but it's well worth it because we can go into the IRS systems, go all the way back to 1990 and find out the whole chronology of the case. But the thing we do is we want to make sure the client is compliant. The IRS requires that the last 6 years of tax returns be filed before you can get a settlement with them. You can't even begin negotiations until the last 6 years' tax returns are prepared and filed. So we want to make sure they're compliant, because then if they are, we're going to send them a financial statement. This is all based on their ability to pay it back. 85 to 90% of our clients never pay back the full amount. 10 to 15% never pay a dime. But guess what? We have to prove that they don't have the ability to pay it all back. It's a lot of work for the taxpayer. It's a lot of work for us. But if you want to get a deal out of Uncle Sam, that's what you have to do. And so we send them a financial statement. It's the IRS form. We're required to use that form. And then invariably, for different categories of expenses, we're going to have to look through bank statements, credit card statements, debit card statements, because there's this thing called the national standards, Jack. And if you exceed that, you have to document to the satisfaction of the IRS that your actual expenses are in excess of that national standard. The biggest one is the national standard for housing and utilities is so arbitrarily low that probably 80 to 90% of my clients have to give me documentation that their mortgage and their utilities and their other household expenses exceed that national standard.
And do you work with their accounting people, or do you have accountants that you refer people to, or how does that work?
When we prepare returns for people, we subcontract with accountants.
Okay.
And the reason we do that is accountants do not have the same confidentiality that an attorney has.
Mm-hmm.
But if they subcontract with us and they have the same amount of confidentiality constraints that attorneys have, because I've seen accountants forced to testify against their clients. They can't do that with an attorney.
Right. When you start working with, I'm sure it varies, but how long does it usually take from when you start with somebody to when you actually get a settlement?
It can take 9 months to a year. In fact, at 11 o'clock today, I'm going to listen to a seminar. They just went to the IRS tax conference and all the changes in the IRS. So all my attorneys, if they're able to, because we just got notice of that this morning when I came to see you, Jack, and I'm going to listen to that in about an hour. But the IRS is changing so much, but things, they are so far behind. They're so screwed up. They don't have enough people working there. And the
Right.
people that do work there, in the automated collection system, which is where the vast majority of cases are, they're not trained properly. So, a lot of people don't want them to have all this power. But guess what? If you cut their resources, then you're not going to get serviced the way you want to get serviced when you have a problem with the IRS. And even the president of the American Society of Tax Problem Solvers, Larry Lawler, who I know, he said, if you're not spending at least 9 months on your client's case, you're not getting them the best possible agreement that you can get.
Wow. Wow. Well, I often hear about all the problems with the IRS, but you're making it a lot more clear than I was aware of. So we call the show Success Today. What does success mean to you?
I tell my people, and this is what drives me, this is my purpose, I want to help as many people as possible. And I tell them that we have a moral responsibility to help as many people as possible. That's why I want to grow the firm. I don't want to retire. I might feel differently 3 years from now. I'm going to be 72 in a week. But I think if I retired in 6 months, I wouldn't be here, because I have a reason and a passion to get up every morning at 4:30, 5 o'clock so I can help all these people. And I just love what I'm doing, growing the business, helping people out. It's very satisfying. And that's success to me, is helping other people out.
Yeah, I think it was Thomas Edison said, when your vocation feels like a vacation, then you've achieved what yours, that's the
Right.
good life, right?
Right. And I do all the fun stuff now. I really don't handle cases because we have over 1,000 clients and I have 8 attorneys to help do that. And so I get to do all the marketing and the financial. I get to come out here and talk to you, Jack. That's worth it right there. And I get to keep building the firm, do all the radio spots, do all the other marketing. And so I just love it. I just love it.
Well, I can tell just by your countenance and how you explain. It's just your smile right now. It's wonderful. So I love the fact that you're passionate about it and you're coming at it from a place of service, really wanting to make a difference for people. It's so
Sure.
obvious. So People want to reach you, your firm, they want to work with you. Where do they go?
They go to lancedrurylaw.com. I've got various numbers. I can't memorize them all, but I do know the website. They can go there, and there's a way to get a hold of us through the website, or they can call us.
Well, I love it. I think I know a lot of people who've had real issues, including my sister, who got really ill for a while and didn't file returns for a while. She's an author, and they were still getting, like royalty checks, but she wasn't doing what she needed to do because she was totally out of it. And she could have used you at that point in time. I'm glad that you're there for people like her now. This is good.
And I have to tell you, these people come to me, they're terrified because they're probably going up against the most terrifying agency in the federal arsenal. And when they contact the IRS first, these people are scared to death, or they show up on their doorstep. So that's what we do. We give people back their peace of mind. We give them their life back. We give them their financial security back.
That's beautiful, especially the peace of mind part. That's it's a wonderful gift. Well, thank you very much, Lance. I appreciate it.
Well, I've enjoyed it, Jack. It's great to be here. Great to see you.
Thank you very much. So I encourage you to reach out, go to the website, either for yourself, perhaps you have a friend, a family member who could use the support. If it's 1 out of every 10 people in America, basically, you probably know someone who can use these services. So you're no longer ignorant about this. You don't have to live in fear. You can have peace of mind. Financial freedom is a possibility. So make sure to reach out and get that information.